Okay, for the multiple choice questions, make sure that you're looking through every answer here, okay? So you had a lot of choices. This says if the end behavior of a polynomial f of x is as x goes to negative infinity, f of x goes to negative infinity, and as x goes to infinity, f of x goes to infinity, which of the following could be f of x? Circle the best answer and explain your choice. Okay, so for this one, what I did is I just annotated what this meant. So this means on the left side, it is going down, and on the right side, it is going up. So if one side is going down and the other side is going up, what can I say about my polynomial? Yeah, they're going in opposite directions, right? Okay, so if the ends go in opposite directions, what does that tell me? Yeah, it's going to be an odd what? It's going to be an odd degree, okay? So that's what we know so far. So when you're looking at these, I would look at the degrees. The degree is the highest exponent. So is this degree odd? Is 4 an odd number? No. Okay, is this degree odd? Okay, so it could possibly be that. What about this one? Nope, so 2, not odd. It's gone. What about this one? Okay, could be. All right, now the other thing we have to think about is the leading coefficient. Okay, so if it is going up on the right side, you only look at the right side, right? So whatever's happening on this side, if it's going up, you have a positive leading coefficient. If it's going down, okay, then you have a negative coefficient. So I need a positive LCO. Does this have a positive leading coefficient? Yep. Does this? Yep. Okay, so B and D would both work. Is that one of my choices? Yep. Okay, so this works and this works, so E would be my choice. Okay, so explain. Okay, explain your choice. Really, you would put this here. Okay. There's an odd degree because the ends go in opposite directions. And the LCO is positive. Because the end goes up on the right. All right, that's how we decided. All right, now for the indicated operations, make sure that you're writing your solutions in standard form here, okay? And then if you're adding, I like to underline my the same, okay? If you want to just do that part in your head, that's fine. Like if you don't want to underline, that's fine too. So you would have 5k squared, and then you have negative k plus negative 11k. What's that going to be? Negative 12k. And then the last one, I circled them, so positive 3, negative 9. 3 minus 9 is negative 6, so it'll be minus 6. Okay? All right, when you have the negative, don't forget that you do have to distribute that negative to everything. So I like to make that a plus and distribute the negative. That way if I have minus a negative, I know it's plus. Minus a negative, I know that term's plus. And now I can combine my like terms. If you have a negative and a negative, remember, you're just adding them together. because this is on your no calculator section, so we have to make sure we remember how to do those things. Okay, and then 3G and 5G is 8G. Okay, and then negative 10 plus 6 is negative 4. Okay, and then for C, again, we're going to distribute. Okay, so we're going to multiply 3x by 4x to the 5th. When you multiply those together, multiply number by number. So what's 3 times 4? 12. What's x times x to the 5th? X to the 6. So remember, you add the exponents. And if the exponent is just, if you just see x, if you don't see an exponent, what is your exponent? A 1. Okay, and then what's 3 times a negative 12? Negative 36. So don't forget the minus. And then x times y squared, you can't combine them because they're not the same variable. So 12x to the 6 minus 36 xy squared. I highly recommend for D, bless you, I highly recommend that you write this out twice whenever it's squared, because you are not going to distribute. You have to FOIL. Okay? So when you FOIL 2a and 2a is 4a squared, I like to do the inside and the outside here. So negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. A times b, how do we write that? AB. You always put them in alphabetical order. And then here, 2 times negative 5, negative 10 AB, so that becomes negative 20 AB. And then negative 5 times negative 5, is that negative 25 or plus 25? Plus, yep, negative times a negative, and then b times b is going to be b squared. Okay, so 4a squared minus 20ab plus 25b squared. Okay, and then for E and F, you have to show your work. Okay, so if you're not showing your work on those, then you're not going to get full credit. I need to see what you're multiplying together first. So you can either multiply the first two together or the last two. Okay, it really does not matter which one. I like to do the last two because when I distribute, I like distributing from the front rather from the back. So this would be g squared. Negative 7 and negative 3 is negative 10g, and then a negative times a negative is positive 21. And it's okay if you did it a different way, that's fine. And then I'm going to distribute the 3g to everything. So you can go back and forth for each one. I also showed you could use this strategy where you do 3g and 6, and you just write this behind it and combine your like terms. Does not matter to me which way you do it, just as long as you show what you did. So this becomes 3g cubed. Okay, and then 3g times negative 10g. Number by number is negative 30. Variable by variable, this is g squared. And then 21 times 3 is what? 63. Okay, so without your calculator, you can either write it out and add it or multiply it. But what's 20 times 3? 60. 1 times 3? 3. 60 plus 3, 63. And then you have to have your g with it. Okay? All right, now here, 6 times g squared. Let's line up our like terms. And then this would be negative 60g. And then 6 times 21, again, I might write this out. So you have 6 and 12, 126. Okay, so plus 126. And then you can add or subtract straight down. There's nothing to add it with, it's the same. Okay, if this is positive, this becomes negative 24g squared. This is 3g, and this is 126. How did that one go? Yeah, it's not necessarily difficult, it just takes a minute, right? Okay, and then for F, that's another one where you have to distribute. Let's get this one. Okay, so I like to write mine like this. I feel like I make less mistakes if I line them up just from my eyes going back and forth. Or sometimes I'll like use my fingers as placeholders. I know that seems like something small, but I do think it helps. Okay, and again, it's number times number, variable times variable. So 4 times 2 is 8. X to the 4 times x cubed is x to what power? 7. Okay, 4 times 5 is 20. Then you have x to the 6th. Okay, 4 times 3 is 12. So that's going to stay x to the 4th. And now I can start lining up my like terms if I have any. Okay, so negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. This is going to be x to the 5th. Do I have an x to the 5th? No, so I'm going to just put it between the 6 and the 4 because it has to be in standard form. And then negative 3 times 5 is negative 15 x to the 4th. So I'm going to line up my x to the 4th. Negative 3x squared times 3 is negative 9x squared. Okay, and then I'll do the last one. So this is going to be x cubed. So negative 12x cubed I'm going to put here. There's no other x cubes. Negative 6 times 5 is negative 30x squared. So I am going to combine those two. And then this is going to be minus 18. And once you do that, you can just add straight down. So these drop straight down. You have 8x to the 7th plus 20x to the 6th minus 6x to the 5th. And then here you have the 12 and the negative 15. So negative 3x to the 4th. No other x cubes. What's negative 9 minus 30? Negative 39. Okay, so make sure that you're practicing those without your calculator so you can do that correctly. And we're going to write it on the line. How did that one go? Okay, so notice that even though this is a no calculator section, it's not a difficult set of problems, okay?